So this is a short video on how to get organized for our essay. If you take a look at option A, which is the more guided option, if you find the command verb, and the command verb or the task verb is usually identify, analyze, or explain. If you just steal and then slide this in, I actually gave you the thesis for this option, everything in bold. And what you see is paragraph 1 will become how the author uses descriptive language in order to engage the reader by making this topic come alive. So you need to find one quote under 10 words that shows or conveys how the author, Allison Keyes, will use descriptive language to draw us in and engage. So that becomes your paragraph 1. So in your topic sentence 1, I'm just going to write myself a little note saying descriptive language, and it can be messy, engage, just so I can keep track in my own mind of what each paragraph is doing. Okay, so what is the next paragraph? The second paragraph, go back to the prompt, how she uses descriptive language in order to support evidence that builds up to the article's main idea at the end. So that's getting a little bit more complicated, right? So we're going to put, again, we're looking at descriptive language, and this is support. I'm writing with one hand as I film this, support evidence, main idea. And I'm just, it can be messy, just writing down some brainstorming notes. And then the third paragraph is the third verb in this long thesis or main claim sentence, which is how does she use, go back to the prompt, descriptive language to deliver the main or central idea of the text. So that's kind of like the culminating piece. So I'm going to go ahead and put, again, descriptive language to convey or deliver main idea. Okay, I like color coding, so I might, if I had two hands while I was filming this, I might, box out this whole section as paragraph 3 in one color so I can keep visual track of it. Paragraph 2, I know this is really messy because it's one hand in another color. Paragraph 1 in this color. Okay. So there are, the thing you'll have to do is to integrate these notes into the sentence frame, and that becomes your topic sentence of paragraph 1. So what I like about this is that there are very clear things that you're doing for each paragraph, but all 3 paragraphs talk about, or you're going to write about, descriptive language. That's the main prompt. You're answering that prompt in the thesis. And then the first one, you're proving how descriptive language engages. The second one, you're proving how descriptive language supports evidence to build on the main idea. And then this third one is like the culmination. How does she use descriptive language to actually convey the main idea? Your next step will be, okay, how do I find evidence for each of these 3 different topic sentence focus areas? And I'm thinking about it, and I know that in this text, the main idea, right, comes at the very end. So if I know that, I can plan and think, okay, from like here to here, I'm really going to focus on finding a very small, under 10 word example of descriptive language, because the main idea is like somewhere in here. And the challenging thing about this text is that the main idea isn't necessarily stated. So you have to really use your knowledge of universal ideas that you find at the end. And then out of those universal ideas, you have to make an inference about what you believe the main idea is, and you make it into a sentence or a statement. It's kind of like the main takeaway from the article. It's exactly like those images that we used around the room where you looked at an image and it wasn't stated in this image, the main idea, right? You came up with a main idea. You inferred based off of what you found as evidence in that image. So the same concept we're going to transfer over to this writing and reading. So I'm really looking for making sure you have the main idea that is accurate and based in the text. And we know that comes at the end with this article. So I'm thinking, you know what, I'm gonna find for that very third paragraph, I wanna make a note that I'm finding evidence for this, like somewhere from paragraphs 26 to end. I mean, just like 10 words. And in fact, Jose, did something very interesting. He just found 3 words. And that's awesome, right? As long as, he's using those 3 words to back up his topic sentence claim here. All right, so this one, and I'm working backwards on purpose so that I can plan out strategically where in the text I'm gonna grab my evidence from, because I don't want all my evidence to come from like right here. I need to space it out to prove that I actually read and can analyze the entire text. So right now for this one, paragraph 2, and I think this is for me, it's like the most challenging one. How do I think about how descriptive language supports evidence to develop this main idea? So the development of the main idea, right, will come in the middle section of this. So you can go back to those middle section, these purple task cards, if you remember, and you can look at your annotations from those task cards, and you're thinking, all right, I need to find an example of really detailed, descriptive language, and the purpose that I'm reading this for is to figure out how the author uses it to strengthen and enhance and communicate and convey very specific evidence to build on her main idea. And I want you to think about just under 10 words what you would find. And then as I'm working backwards to paragraph 1, I'm really thinking about how does she use descriptive language to engage the reader. And you know what, like engagement starts at the beginning. You need to draw your reader in. And so I would kind of focus in on the very first chunk from our yellow cards to figure out under 10 words. And again, Jose chose 3 words, which is awesome as well. How do I choose specific language or words that shows how she's using descriptive language to really draw us in and get us interested in this very important topic of the bombing of Black Wall Street? In order to have a successful essay, I wanted to map this out very clearly for you, because if you look at the yellow assignment page for this essay, the rubric is exactly your MCAS open response rubric. So this is how you're scored on MCAS for your writing, and you'll write about 3 of these on MCAS over 3 days, right? So people are saying, oh my gosh, it's so much writing, but we need to get you ramped up for what you're going to experience in a few months. And so everything we do has that purpose of building towards that goal. So what you do is you read very carefully, and all you have to do is follow 6 steps per paragraph. And each of these steps gives you frames, if you would like. And more importantly, the steps are saying, hey, for this one, right? Actually, if you flip this over, the paragraphs continue. So there are 6 steps per paragraph. So I might make a note up here just to remind myself, this is paragraph 1. This is paragraph 2. This is paragraph 3. And I'm going to do one at a time. So I'm going to start here for paragraph 1. I'm going to answer all these questions, fill in all these frames for sentences, and then I'm going to actually flip it over and finish with 5 and 6. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to do it again for 2. And I'm going to work through these 6 things for paragraph 2. Right here and here. And then I'm going to do it again for paragraph 3. These 6 things. Is it tedious? Sure. But these frames help you to actually build analytical thinking in your writing and keep it very focused. So one of the resources that you'll need as you hit the second page here for each paragraph, it'll tell you to go to page 6, your tone wheel. So you're going to go in your notebook, and here's your tone wheel. And you're going to choose tone words that you believe, right, from your reading and your inference making, apply and support your topic sentence claims and your thesis. And I'm going to encourage you to choose level 2 and 3 words because those are more challenging. And then this one says, look, go to your yellow reasoning guide on page 7. So this is another resource that you're going to need when you're writing and you're composing your thoughts. And it's going to ask you to experiment with a lot of these stems. These are stems that I use when I write right now. These are stems that you can take to college and use to extend and expand your thinking in your analytical writing. And these are stems that we want to internalize and really have in our brains and be able to know and do on our own when we get into MCAS in March. All right, so that is about it. All you have to do, follow this. You plug in your thesis right from here. The one piece that you want to start before your thesis would be giving us a background or a context. You can actually also, when I say steal, you can take the main ideas, put it in your own words, but the concept is right here, and stick it in the opening. This can be like a little preview, 2-sentence, little paragraph, and then you jump in and you have your 3 paragraphs. And your little, it's not even a conclusion, it's just like a clincher sentence that can go at the very end. We're gonna handwrite this and we're gonna get it done by Friday. Let me know if you have questions.